Good evening and welcome to the Onsen Budgie Smugglers with Yoshi and Crash. Yoshi's joining me from Kyoto in Japan and I'm coming to you from Northcote in Victoria. How are you, Yosh?
I'm good, thanks, Mike. How are you?
Very good. Now, I've called an extraordinary general meeting tonight to cover off the footy finals. We would normally be recording probably on a Saturday morning, but this week, with the finals starting Thursday and Friday, that is the AFL finals, we would have been halfway through. So we thought we'd jump in a couple of nights early and talk about the finals.
Yeah, exciting.
Especially exciting, Yoshi, if your team is in the finals. Congratulations, mate.
Just Mike. When the Saints go marching in, when the Saints go marching in.
Okay, come on, that's enough of that. Don't get ahead of yourself. Now, let's just, before we get into footy, just do a little quick catch up on how you've been going.
Yeah. I've been searching for a new job, and it's still going on, and I feel like kind of stuck, and quite disappointment because the job I wanted, I couldn't get a job. Then I feel like, oh, what can I do? Like, I feel stuck, but I try to do the best.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, mate, but stay at it, and I'm sure that you will get a good job.
Just my. Then what is going on with you, mate?
Look, I've just been reasonably busy with footy, even though there was no AFL this past weekend. Got to the local footy, watched my daughter play in a semi-final, which she lost, but they've got the double chance, so she'll get another go this week. And I got down to the AFLW Hawthorn versus Essendon in Frankston on Saturday night, so that was pretty good.
Nice.
Also got down to Phillip Island and hang out with a mate down there. I got down to the beach last weekend, even though it's still not very warm here. It was nice to have a sunny walk on the beach. The water was a bit cold, so I didn't go in for a swim.
Of course, it's still winter, mate. Then did you see many people on the beach?
There was quite a few people down there walking their dogs, and there was a few people in the water surfing and that sort of thing with wetsuits on, so not quite so bad.
Nice.
But we are slowly coming out of winter here, just a few degrees warmer and nice sunny days last weekend. But right on schedule for the start of the finals. It's going to be cold, wet, and raining probably the next two nights in Melbourne, or Thursday and Friday anyway.
All right. I heard that it was the warmest winter in Australia. Also, like, the temperature would be like, was like 19 degrees, during the daytime. Quite warm, wasn't it?
Look, it was okay, but it was still chilly at night. But yeah, warmest winter in Australia, probably across the whole country.
Yeah.
I don't know about Melbourne, but it was definitely not warm. It might have been warmer than usual, but it was still not warm.
Okay. Understand.
And still nice and warm in Japan, speaking of warm.
Yeah, it's hot. Like, it's like 35 degrees, 36 degrees today. So, night time is cooler than, before, but still hot.
Understood. All right. So let's talk about the footy finals. So the final 8 going into the finals. In first place, Collingwood had a great year. Really just fell away a little bit at the end with sort of 3 losses out of their last 5 games, but certainly, clear on top and probably favourites. In number 2, the Brisbane Lions, who finished pretty strongly, will have 2 home finals in Brisbane and be looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide. Now, I know you're not a big Port Adelaide fan, Yoshi.
Sorry?
I know you're not a big Port Adelaide fan,
Nah.
but they finished in third place.
Yeah.
Equal on percentage with Brisbane, and probably were better earlier in the year than later in the year. But again, they will have some home finals down the track. Melbourne finishing in fourth, just one game behind, and then fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, Carlton, St Kilda, GWS, and Sydney.
Yeah.
So the Saints finishing in sixth, Yoshi. What did you think about that?
You know, at the mid season, like, St. Kilda didn't play well, like, defensive system didn't work, and we lost so many games. Then St. Kilda bounced back, in a last several, like, matches. So I'm happy with the St. Kilda finish at 6. But of course, like, St. Kilda needs to play a better free in the finals. Otherwise, St. Kilda would lose the game, then had to be sent off.
So I would say not many of the St Kilda players probably have a lot of finals experience. Would you agree with that?
No. Of course, like, not like some players, played, finals in 2020, but only 2 games. It's not enough. Then we got Bloody Hill and Dan Butler, like, who are, premiership players, and we can't rely on 2 blocks, but just, of course, like, we are experienced in the finals, but just we could play, good free, from the seasons,
Now you also have Ross Lyon, who does have quite a bit of finals experience in coaching, and I think that might give you a bit of confidence.
That's a good point, yes. He guided St. Kilda to play grand finals in 2009 and 2010, so he's got more experience in the coaching the finals.
So Ross, the boss, everyone was a bit unsure what to make of it when he came back into the job at St Kilda, but so far it's looking like maybe St Kilda made the right choice.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was not sure, if we could get into the finals this year, like, from last couple seasons, and he made it. Like, he had a clear, game plans, so which worked. Then we are here now, so I'm happy about that.
So just before we have a look at each of the games, I'll just say that I went and watched Hawthorn Fremantle since last we spoke. The last game for the Hawks this season. I was pretty hopeful that they would have a win at the MCG on the home ground, but Freo really just proved far too good, and they were very confident in front of goal and beat us around the stoppages around the ground. So bit of a disappointing end of the year for me, seeing the Hawks go down. And of course, I think the final round for the Saints was against Brisbane. What do you think of that one, Yosh?
Like, I thought that it was a test game for the finals. Then playing Brisbane at Gabba, brought, the Lions a much advantage. But just, we couldn't, break the lines. Like, Brisbane shut down the Collingwood, in the previous match. Then it kept going. Then I was disappointed with the loss, but St. Kilda played hard, and it was a good contest. So I'm happy about the results.
Yeah, fair enough. I think I would agree with that. They played well enough to show some good signs going in the finals. Brisbane are a very good side, and they did play very well. So nothing to be ashamed of there, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So coming up Thursday night, we have Collingwood versus Melbourne at the MCG. So this is 1 versus 4.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Josh?
Yeah, Collingwood, didn't play well in the last, few matches, as you said today. But Melbourne did, played well in a last match at SCG, so it could be a good game. It could be a close game. It's hard to predict, who to win easily. But I think Collingwood could win in like a small margin, might be like a 1 goal, within 1 goal, I think, for every game.
Yeah, for me, Collingwood, as you said, didn't finish that well. They had a few injuries, but I think they're actually going to get quite a few of those players back. I don't think Dacos is going to play, but they'll get quite a few of those players back. Look, it'll be a very even game. As you said, for me, I'm going to go with Melbourne. Just a little bit better finals experience in recent years. I know Collingwood had a couple of good wins last year and only just got pipped by Geelong, really, in the end. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Melbourne to just pinch this one.
Right.
That won't be the end of Collingwood, though. They'll have a second chance and they'll get a chance to come back again.
Yeah. Right.
Carlton versus Sydney Swans on Friday night at the MCG.
Right. This one, Carlton's last game wasn't great as, compared to the last several games. Carlton gained speed and, played hard, very hard to get into the top 8. Then Carlton get the speed, even they beat Collingwood at the MCG. Meanwhile, Sydney, they did good to win the finals, but they were about to lose in the game against Adelaide over, in round 23. I reckon Carlton would win in within maybe couple with a 2 goals margin, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Carlton probably should win by 2 goals. They're going to be under a lot of pressure, particularly from their fan base who've been waiting for them to get into the finals. And, it's just going to be how they handle that pressure. I think that they've definitely got the team to win this game and potentially go far in the finals. But we saw sort of during the middle part of the season, they went missing. And even though the team didn't really change significantly, there's something in the mindset that's just a bit vulnerable there. The Swans, on the other hand, started off the season really poorly. Looked like they were going to finish, in the bottom 4, to be honest. Not that far out from the finals, and they just managed to pick it up towards the end of the season. Probably coincidentally, Buddy, sort of being injured and out towards the end of the season. The Swans actually play much better without him. So their form going in is pretty good. I think, most people would look at their grand final performance last year, which was really disappointing, and use that to write them off. But they've got a lot of talent, a lot of young talent, and they're not going to be scared after playing in the finals last year. They're going to be much more settled. So it's a really tough game to pick. I'm going to go with Carlton because I believe that their key forwards, probably, Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow. Really, if they are firing, Carlton will win. But the question is, will they fire? I don't know. I'll pick Carlton by the same result as you, Yosh, 2 goals. But yeah, there's no certainties in this game.
Only rely on Charlie Kuno and Harry Mackay.
Just don't know, mate. Just don't know. But look, Charlie got the job done to take out the Coleman medal last week. Good on Carlton. They got him across the line for that. Now they've got to get all, 22 of them across the line for a win. So we'll see if they can do that.
Yeah.
The big game, Yoshi, everybody's been waiting for. At least all the St Kilda supporters.
Yeah.
Saturday, 3:20 in the afternoon at the MCG. In the bright sunshine. Hopefully, against the GWS Giants.
St Kilda played well in the last few games against Richmond. Then, who played after Richmond? Not before against Geelong as well. If we play, put the pressure over to the opponent, St Kilda, played well. Also, we need to find a space to deliver the ball very well. Then, GWS, were fired up last week, against Carlton at the Marvel Stadium. I'm not sure about, how many games GWS won at the MCG. Even St Kilda won against Essendon in a round 3, 150 years anniversary. Then lost to Richmond, as a home, away game. But I believe in St Kilda put much pressure onto the GWS and found a space, and our defense, Wilkie, and Jane Cody and Nas Wangamira. I can't pronounce it, sorry, number 7. He defense hard and kick the ball long nicely. Then I think St Kilda win by 25 points. What do you reckon?
Look, I reckon you might be right. GWS, they were real fired up last week against Carlton. It was actually a really good game to watch. Toby Green, once again, just taking it all on his shoulders, dragging his team across the line. And they have really had to battle hard sort of going into the finals. And I think that may just wear on them. I think the Saints have had a slightly sort of easier run in, I guess, without quite so much pressure on them the last couple of weeks. So I think they'll probably settle earlier, and that just might be enough for them to get over the Giants. But, every one of these finals is going to be a great game. Hopefully, for your sake, Yosh, you fall on the right side of the line.
That's just smart. Then, how many points do you think? How many goals?
I'll say 15 points.
Since by 50 points?
15.
15, yeah, I got
Yeah.
it. Just my
All right. So the final game of the first week of the finals, Brisbane Lions playing Port Adelaide at the Gabba,
yeah,
7:25 at night.
yeah. You
It'll
know,
be
as I watched Brisbane versus St Kilda in round 24, Brisbane, are very organized at Gabba. Like, they use the grounds nicely and shut down the opponents and run fast. Like, Charlie Cameron kicked several goals, and also Joe Daniher, he kicked the goals, and their forwards line a mix of the like a small forward and tall forwards, and the like Andrews, like the tall defense worked very well. So I'm sure about how Porter played in the last few games. Then, but in a Brisbane's home game, I reckon Brisbane would win by 5 goals. What do you think?
Yeah, so Port Adelaide won their last 3 games going in, and they're in pretty good form. And we sometimes, can ignore Port Adelaide and forget how good they are, particularly the likes of, Alir, Butters, Wines. Like, they have a lot of very good players.
Mm-hmm.
And, they've pretty used to playing some high pressure footy during the year. They had some good close wins.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that will stand them in good stead if they come in the last quarter and the game is close.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brisbane probably will try and avoid that and try and get away from them early. As you said, they've got such a good mix in their forward line of talls and smalls, and very organised back line. So in Brisbane, I'll have to go with the Lions. Had it been in Adelaide, I would have went with Port Adelaide. It's that close between these two, I would say. But yeah, Brisbane Lions by 3 goals for mine.
3 goals, nice. Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that means that that would give Brisbane the first week off, the second week. Sorry, Melbourne the second week off. Collingwood would probably play St Kilda, I think,
Yeah.
and Port Adelaide against Carlton, if my predictions are correct.
Yeah.
I don't know, Josh. For me, I think Brisbane are probably the team in the box seat. They have the greatest home advantage.
Yeah.
They can win the first final. They'll have those 2 home finals and be a very good chance of going into the grand final after having two easy finals, relatively easy finals at home. So I think they're in the box seat, but I don't think any of the teams can be ruled out really at this stage. They've all shown at various times this year their capability to beat the other teams in the top 8. And, it's a pretty exciting final series, really.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, there are so many close games, then anything can happen in the finals anyway. So then we have to see what happens rather than predict here about the next week or week after. We can't predict much.
No. And let's not worry about that too much at this stage. So where will you be watching footy this week, Josh? What games will you get to see, do you think?
Definitely I watch Thursday and Friday. Then Saturday of course I watch, but we have to talk about, where to watch with my teammates. Like, I've got, couple St. Kilda, supporters in my Osaka Dingos, free clubs. And then normally we train at the, starting at 2 o'clock local times. That means like 3 o'clock Melbourne time. Then St. Kilda's final free starts at 3:20. So we have to figure out, where to watch. Like we would, start for the training time to the morning. Then we are still going to discuss shift happens. Then on Saturday night, depending on, how I travel, I would watch the game as well. Like I like watching the finals. What about you?
Collingwood, Melbourne, I'll probably watch at home on the couch.
Yeah.
Thursday night. Friday night, Carlton, Sydney. I think I'm going to watch my nephew's basketball grand final. So I'll probably catch the last half of this game when I get home from that.
Yeah.
We'll be keeping an eye on the scores while that game's going on. And then I'm actually going to be going to the St. Kilda Giants game at the MCG on Saturday afternoon.
Just what?
So I'll be right there, be able to report in for you any of the goings on that I see close up.
Yeah.
And probably I will drop into one of the pubs in Fitzroy and watch the Lions, who have the old Fitzroy Lions supporters family behind them, take on Port Adelaide. So it should be a weekend.
Nice. Then are you wearing like a wholesome gear to the St. Kilda game?
No, mate. No. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, really?
No.
Would you wear St. Kilda gear?
No, definitely not. No, I'll be very neutral, Yoshi, very neutral.
Of course, yeah.
I don't have an orange. Oh, maybe I do have an orange T-shirt, but no, I don't think so.
No, please, no orange t-shirts, please.
No, look, to be honest, I don't really wear merchandise to Hawthorn games, so.
Oh, really?
No. Yeah, I don't need to dress up. It's okay. I'll make up for it with my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right. Well,
right.
Anything else exciting happening for you over the weekend?
Nothing special. Like, watch the footy and we have to figure out, what time we should start the training. So free training and free watching.
Get out on the bike.
Maybe on Sunday.
Yeah.
How about you? Other than footy?
Yeah, we'll be down to the local footy Sunday morning. And yeah, enjoying my day at the MCG on Saturday, mate. Hopefully you get a win.
Just my good.
All right. Well, that's all for this week. Special edition. Good to see you, mate. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Go Saints.
Go Saints. Cheer.
Now you can sing. Now you can sing the song, Yosh.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, I want to be with the Kilda when the Saints go marching in.
Good luck, mate. See ya.
Just my, yeah.